Greetings, class of 2025. My name's Andy Castle and I'd like to welcome you to Richmond High School. Let's go take a look. As you enter through the front of the building, you'll enter the first atrium, and off to your left here is one of our entrances to the Devil's Den, and to the right, the main office. Once you go through our security check-in and our COVID check-in, if we have it again next year, you guys will come in the school and you'll enter through the main hallway. As we enter the building, off to your left here is the Devil's Den, which is our school-run store. This store is open and run by our students in Mr. Wagner's marketing and accounting classes. And off to the right again, you'll see the entrance to the main office, where you see our secretarial staff as well as our Dean of Students and our counselor, Mrs. Lepak. We come in the main office, we turn right, and you go down the first hallway here off to the right. This is going to be the 100 hallway. We have our restrooms down here as well as some of our senior lockers. This is affectionately known as a senior hallway. So you got a couple of years until you guys will be down this hallway with your lockers. But as we spin around here, you can see that most of our classes in this hallway are going to be English or social studies. Off to the left here, we have our school social worker, Mrs. Laratonda. And a computer lab here, room 111. Take a peek in here real quick. This is one of several computer labs we have at Richmond High School, and these are open during the day if they're not going to be occupied by our yearbook class or some of our other classes. They are unoccupied during the day and open for use. As we continue down the 100 hallway, you'll see that there's several classrooms. Again, most of these are your social studies classrooms, so if you're going to have your history class as a freshman, you're going to be in one of these classrooms, or some of our English classes as well are down this hallway. As we continue, we're going to be going through a set of double doors here, actually triple doors. So as we work our way to the end of the 100 hallway, you'll see that it kind of dead ends into our auditorium here at Richmond High School. We can take a quick peek inside the auditorium, but I believe they are doing some bond work in here at the time. So this is the Richmond High School Auditorium. This is where we do a lot of our choir performances and our theater performances. It's currently set up right now for a band performance that's going to be recorded later this evening. So you can see there are Richmond High School students hard at work. So as we come out of the auditorium and where the 100 hallway ends, we continue back to our performing arts area and our art and band classes. So we'll turn right here. Off to the left is a classroom, and then as you work your way farther down the hallway here, you will see that we have our art classes to the left and our band classes towards the end of the hallway. So this is your hallway that's going to end right here. Off to the left is Mrs. Kaganek's art class, and off to the right here is our band room. So this whole area back here is dedicated to our music band and choir at this point. So here we are down again at the entrance of the school. Again, off to the right was the 100 hallway, and we're going to continue all the way down here, down our 700 hallway, which is one of the main arteries of the high school. Off to the left is the 200 hallway. You can take a peek down there. This is where you're going to find your business classes as well as your criminal justice classes and the resource room for additional academic support. We continue down the 700 hallway. Off to our right here is our media center. We can take a peek inside of our media center, and you can see we have another computer lab as well as some of our textbooks and some additional tables for students needing to spread out in our COVID-19 protocols. Continuing to work our way down the 700 hallway, off to the left here you'll see that there is one of our entries to our culinary arts classes. We can take a peek inside the culinary arts class. This is going to be the seating area for our restaurant once it opens up, once we're done with our COVID-19 protocols. And you can take a little bit of a peek back in here. We have a fully operational restaurant-grade kitchen. So continuing down the 700 hallway, we're going to be approaching an area that we call the Four Corners up here, which is where we have an intersection of a lot of our main hallways all coming together. Down here is the 400 hallway. And down here off to the right is our auxiliary gym, which is currently being used as an additional cafeteria to ensure spacing during the COVID-19 protocols. And up to the left here we have our credit recovery room, as well as another entrance to our culinary arts room. Turning back to the opposite side of the four corners down here, we have our 300 hallway. Down the 300 hallway is where you're going to find most of your math classes, as well as the rest of your English language arts classes. So you can see that there's an exit to the staff parking lot right down here at the end of the 300 hallway. At the four corners, you also find both a men's and women's restroom. We'll continue down the 700 hallway, and off to the right here, my right and your left, will be the staff lounge. So if you're looking for a teacher, they may be in there. And coming to the end of our 700 hallway, we have an additional classroom. This is Mr. Day's health classroom, as well as our office for our Director of Athletics, Facilities, and School Safety, Mr. Reinhardt. So if you have any questions for Mr. Reinhardt, he is at the end of the 700 hallway next to our health classes. Continuing to the very end of our 700 hallway, it dead ends into the gymnasium, so we can take a peek into the gym here. Most of you have probably been in the gym by now if you've been at the middle school. The gymnasium is where you're obviously going to be participating in a lot of your gym classes, but this is where we also have our assemblies. And on occasion, you'll see some of our science classes or other classrooms down here where they need additional space working on projects or different experiments. Coming out of the gym, we're going to work our way into the 500 hallway, or the science wing of the building. So if you have a science classroom at Richmond High School, it is going to be down the 500 hallway. It's pretty easy to find because as we look on the wall here, you see the periodic table of elements on the wall reminding you that you're in the science wing. So we can see right here that we have 4 different classrooms, as well as a lab area, lab prep between each of them. So you have 2 classrooms off to the left and 2 classrooms off to the right, and these are where all of your science classrooms as well as science labs are going to take place at Richmond High School. So this is our entrance to the cafeteria. As you can see right now, we've got some marks on the floor that are encouraging the social distancing. And we have a lot of our trophy showcase up here in the cafeteria as well. And we can see right here, this is the Richmond High School main cafeteria. You can see through those double doors the entrance to the mini gym, or the auxiliary gym, which at this time is being used as an additional cafeteria to try to space everybody out. But normally we have 2 lunches. Right now we have 3 lunches, so we may have 2 or 3 next year for you. But one way or another, if you're going to eat lunch, it'll be either in the auxiliary gym or it will be here in the main cafeteria. So we'll take you on a walk through what your lunch line is going to look like. Very similar to the middle school if you're at Richmond Middle School. Again, we ask that students follow the social distancing guidelines. And here is the Richmond High School cafeteria. You can see the hard-working cafeteria staff is setting things up right now, but we have our students come through here. We have our salads, our pretzels, and all the different condiments off here to the left. And you work your way through, grabbing a drink, and then on through the checkout line here. Okay, so as we continue through the main cafeteria, this is the entrance to the auxiliary gym. And again, at this time it's set up to accommodate our extra spacing for the COVID-19 protocols. Hopefully we're out of this soon, and this is turned back into our auxiliary gym where we can have our PE classes and additional spacing that we need here at Richmond High School. But this is again set up currently for our cafeteria, as well as some of our athletic events after school. As we enter the cafeteria, the lunch line here off to the right, you can see that this is the entrance, the hallway to the weight room. When you guys get here, this will be under renovation and construction. So there's a lot of things that are kind of currently being moved around, but we're excited about the different additions we're going to have to our physical education wing of the school, putting the extra fitness room down there and the auxiliary gym at the south end of the school. So for our students that are riding the Richmond High School bus transportation, again, you'll come in through door number 12, and we have our security checks here, as well as our temperature checks for our students that are riding the buses. Outdoor number 12, you can see that that's our football soccer facility out here. And then off to the left is a student parking lot, so when our freshmen go ahead and get their licenses in a couple years, that is where they are able to park during the school day. Class of 2025, thank you for spending some time with us this evening. We look forward to seeing you next fall. Go Blue Devils!